What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of The Unbiased Hard Take. We have lots to talk about, lots to get into, a massive basketball show, all conference finals, Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals. We're going to break it all down. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned for more. What's going on, everybody? Again, thank you for tuning in this week. Before we get into it, we are going to do the formalities, as you guys know. Like us on Facebook if you haven't already done so. Great content on Facebook. Sports Fact of the Day, I'm dropping dimes on there all the time. At least one other take a day other than the Sports Fact of the Day. So a lot of coverage there. Check us out. Link is down below. Subscribe on YouTube. We recently had a good intake of subscribers. I think like 4 or 5 recent new ones off of our short, which is nearing 1K views. So check that out. Appreciate the support from you guys, all that good stuff. So, with that, we're going to go ahead and jump right on into the Eastern Conference Finals. And the Eastern Conference Finals has been an absolute joke. I mean, we've talked about, we've nagged James Harden hard on this podcast, and rightfully so. And he absolutely deserves it. Because I posted it on our Facebook page even that this series is over. This series is garbage, hot trash. This is just an embarrassing series. This is going to end up being a sweep. We'd have been better off had the Pistons got in there, because I think the Pistons could have at least made it a gentleman's sweep, at least got a game in there. The Cavs are just getting obliterated. And they just look like the inferior team 100 everywhere across the board. Like Donovan Mitchell missing free throws last night. He was 2 for 6 from the free throw line. 9 for 21, 23 points. I mean, James Harden hasn't had a single 20-point game since May 15th. That, for those of you guys that are tracking, that was Game 6 versus Detroit in that series. So he hasn't hit 20 points this series yet. And last night, 19 points, 6 turnovers again. I mean, at least he had 8 field goals made, so he didn't have more turnovers than field goals made this time. Just this time, though. There's always next time. And no shot attempts. Not even a shot attempt for James Harden in the fourth quarter. So that's just, I mean, it proved everything I've been saying all playoff long. And Knicks will be going to the finals, no matter had they played Detroit or had they played Cleveland. I think Detroit could have made this more of a series, because Cleveland, obviously, as we can tell, is just not on the same level of stratosphere as the Knicks are. And Jalen Brunson's been balling. I mean, we have to ask, is he the greatest Knick of all time? We have to start asking that, especially if he makes the finals this year. And especially if they win that championship, that cements it by itself. But we got to have that conversation, because he had 30 points in yesterday's game, and that's on 0 3-pointers made. It's hard to do in today's NBA, where the 3-point shot sort of ruining the league, some would say. And he had 30 points on no 3-pointers made. I mean, OG coming back, doing good things, 21 points. Cat had a rough game at 13 points, but didn't have to, because Miles Bridges had 22 points. So the Knicks are just from top down to bottom better, and their stars perform. Brunson, when it's time to perform, they perform and show up in the times it matters most. Playoff time, not just regular season, which is where James Harden and Donovan Mitchell are going to be balling all regular season long. But when it comes down to it in the playoffs, they can't get it done. And they're proving it right here. I have the stats right in front of you for us. I mean, it's just absolutely embarrassing, the performance the Cavaliers have put on the court. Because Game 1 was they blew a 20-point lead. Game 2, they got blown out. Then yesterday in Game 3, lost by 10-plus points again. And that was in Cleveland at home. They couldn't even defend home court. So you gotta ask, this is just a sweep series. This is no teams ever come back from 3-0, as we know. They are now down 3-0. This series is over. The Knicks are going to the finals. That's really all I got for that. I do want to move on, because I mean that Eastern Conference series is it's garbage. It's a wash. It's 3-0. There's nothing really to talk about on that. The Knicks are going to the finals. I predicted that. And I'm disappointed. We had a lot of love on our Facebook page talking about the Cavaliers, as Cavs fan chimed in and was talking He hopes things can change, but he fears that I'm right. And I even admitted it. I hope I'm wrong. I hope the Cavaliers upset the Knicks because I don't like the Knicks. The Knicks fans are annoying. Donovan Mitchell made a comment about that actually after yesterday's loss, talking about how they're kind of like Cowboys fans, which I kind of kicked at. That was a very funny comment, and he's absolutely right. But they're winning the game, so I mean, what's there to talk about? And it's 3-0. Series shouldn't be 3-0 this far into the playoffs. The first round was excellent. This conference finals have been rough. And maybe I fear that the Spurs conference finals and the Thunder maybe will not last much longer either. It may be a little bit overhyped. Because we are going to jump into that series. Like I said, I do want to move on to that series. There's more to say about that series. Because that series might be the actual finals, if you know what I'm saying. I think whoever comes out of the West is going to end up hoisting the Larry O'Brien Trophy. And the Thunder, we know the Spurs came out game one and just shocked the Thunder, stole home court. But ever since then, the Thunder has settled in. Their championship pedigree, like I talked about, I said the Thunder will win this in 6. I'm still going to stick to that. But I wouldn't be shocked if they pull this out in 5 and do the gentleman's sweep. Because they're separating themselves. I mean, 9-point win in game 2. Took home court back in game 3 and won by 15 points. SGA had 26 points, 12 assists. Jalen Williams, we talked about him coming back. He's one reason that I did pick the Thunder to advance. 18 points. And 6 players with 10-plus points in game 3. That's for the Thunder, which is more than what the Spurs had. Because we look at the bench, this is where it comes down to. This is where I think that the Thunder just dominate the whole league, really. Their bench is ridiculous. Their bench could start on certain NBA teams, the whole lineup, because they have 183 bench points compared to 51 for the Spurs. When bench point differential is that much, talking about almost 100 bench points. I mean, at that point, it's a no-brainer. I mean, the Thunder just want to dominate this series, and Wemby had a decent game on the stat sheet, 26 points. And yet, in the last game they played again tonight. But look, only 2 blocks and 4 rebounds. He's that tall, that dominant on defense and on the boards, and down low, that he only had 4 rebounds and 6 blocks. The Thunder are disrupting him, and De'Aaron Fox has to be better too. Only 15 points last game, not good enough on their co-star. And their bench, like I said, only 51 bench points compared to 183 bench points. That's over 100 bench point differential. And no wonder this series will end up 3-0. I mean, thank goodness the Spurs stole the first game, because otherwise, with that type of bench differential points and that type of difference in the bench, I mean, we should be talking about a sweep here. But, I mean, the Spurs did get that one game. I do think they'll get one more game. I do think the Thunder win tonight and take a commanding 3-1 lead. And I think the Spurs will go home, defend home court, and then ultimately the Thunder will win in 6. That was my prediction to begin with, and that's what I'm sticking to because I have pretty much nailed this conference finals on top of its head, and I'm very proud of that. But the Spurs bench is just not nearly as good enough. I mean, no Spurs player had 7 points in their last game off the bench. No bench player had 7 points. When you get this deep in the playoffs and you're playing a Thunder team which is that deep with Caruso even, I mean, that bench just goes deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper to where it's really concerning. The Thunder are going to ultimately end up being NBA champions once again. Mark my words. But that's all I got for this week's episode of the Unbiased Heart Take. Again, like, subscribe. We appreciate support from you guys. Check us out on Facebook. Link down below. We're going to be doing a lot. Dark times are coming up. NBA's wrapping up. As we can see, a shorter video this time. So NBA's wrapping up. Not as much basketball to talk about. But we'll be wrapping up basketball here soon and transitioning into NFL off-season fantasy football, that type of stuff. So we have a lot of good, exciting things to announce, especially in the fantasy football department. Excuse me. So, again, we'll see you all this week on a short, more than likely. Until next time, go Pack, go. Let's go Heat. It's ball over, baby.